And one other conversation that really jumps out to me, it's funny and it connects to a sad moment. If you go to a Tampa Bay Lightning game, Pat Burns in the old days, before he passed away and before he got sick, he was done coaching. He was a scout for the New Jersey Devils. He lived in Tampa Bay. So he would go to all of the Lightning games and sit in the press box and scout every team that came in, so he wouldn't travel. So if you went to a Lightning game, you always saw Pat Burns there. I was in town covering Blue Jay spring training, I don't know, 2006, 2007, something like that. And I had met Pat Burns at the World Hockey Championship the year before. So he's at the press box sitting 30 feet from me. And I was like, you know what? He's a pretty crusty guy. He might tell me to buzz off, but he was nice to me last year. I'm going to go introduce myself to him, reintroduce myself to him. So I went up and said, hey, Pat, I don't mean to bother you. It's Paul Hollingsworth. Met you last year in Halifax at the World Hockey Championship. We did a story on this, and this. I interviewed you. Just trying to remind him who I was. He goes, oh, hey, Paul, how you doing? Have a seat.
No.
And so I sat down. I watched the third period with him. And he paid me the great compliment of making me like his equal in that moment. I knew nothing compared to him. Like, he saw the game. He was taking notes. He was pointing out plays that I wouldn't even see. And I think I know the game pretty well. And he treated me like his BFF. And it was such a nice thing. And then when he passed away, I always thought about that. I just thought about how good he was to me. And it was a good lesson because a lot of people thought Pat Burns was this crusty, hard-nosed coach who would wear it as welcome after 2 or 3 years in an NHL city, move on because he was almost like a difficult persona. He was a lovely man. He was such a good guy. And he wasn't sick at that point. It made me feel like $1 million. And like he was more keen for me to hang out with him than I was the other way around. And he was just being gracious. It meant a lot to him that I took the time to introduce myself to him. And he paid me back by letting me hang out with him for an hour. It was great. We took the elevator downstairs after the game together. Really, really nice moment. Like, I love those moments because it gets you down to that lovely humanity where we're all just a bunch of people doing our jobs, hanging in a building, hanging in a rink in the same environment, and no pretension. He didn't put on any airs, didn't think I wasn't good enough for him. Yeah. And I think about when he passed, I thought about him a lot and thought about how good he was to me.
I love that. The personalities within hockey are great.
Oh, for sure.
It's a great story.
Yeah, no, they're great. And I mean, you hang around with those people long enough, you come away with some good stories.